Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Katie Weaver Show. This is Katie. I'm your host, and I'm so happy to be here. If you are listening live, it is about 11 a.m. Pacific time at on June 11th. If you're listening to an archive or a replay, I also want to welcome you to the show. I want to let you know that you can find me over in the chat room by heading over to 12radio.com. That's number one, number two, radio.com. And you'll find my banner there at the top of the page where other people are going to be chatting as well. You can ask a question there, leave a comment, or if you'd rather watch than listen, you can do that too by heading over to uh, Facebook or YouTube and look for Katie Weaver Domestic Mystic, and you'll find the stream there. So, any way you slice it, you should be able to come and connect. So, lots of fun stuff happening. I want to welcome everybody that's filing in. I hope you guys are having a good start to your week. I hope you had a good weekend. I had a new moon, of course, and now we're waxing again. uh, I'm excited because we finally had our first or summer fair. Usually we start going to craft fairs or shows or witches markets way earlier, but this year just didn't allow it with the Daybell trial. I couldn't possibly put my head around that at all. I'm sure you can imagine. So we had waited. We did a summer solstice event on Saturday or Sunday. And the reason why it was a summer solstice event then is because Pride here is happening over summer solstice. And so the planners of this event had scheduled it to be a little bit earlier. So it was in front of you know, she jumped the gun a little bit, but there was a good reason why. So that's why it happened early. So no, you have not missed the summer solstice. It's just not even here yet. But it was fun. It was interesting. We got there to a really upsetting thing happening, actually. After we started setting up our booth, the lady 2 booths down from us, she was busy also setting up her booth and got a phone call that one of her children had, stopped breathing, and she, you know, had to leave, and it was, like, scary and upsetting, and then her friend was still there, and they were together in one vehicle, and she left in it, and then the friend really didn't wanna stay and needed to go be with her, and a lot of vendors just dropped everything they were doing and ran down and helped her pack up her booth. Another vendor gave her a ride. Like, people were so good, so good to each other. And then the event itself was great, but towards the very end, it started to look a little stormy. And so Mars and I were like, maybe we'll start packing up like hoodies, flags, fabric stuff, things we don't want to, that would, if they got wet, it would be a problem. So we had started packing up a few things when out of nowhere, gale force winds just hit. And everybody just ran to help. Vendors, customers, perfect strangers were packing my totes as fast as they could, trying to help pull down all of the awnings. Both of our awnings were completely destroyed. I would imagine every awning out there was. It was crazy. So all of our stuff got packed. Some of my things blew away, and people were just bringing them back randomly. I think this is yours. I think this is yours. It was so kind how everybody just, like, jumped in and helped, and then it was done, the storm was over. It was just a big freak thing, it was so wild. Jessica, yes, it turns out, it last we heard, her little guy is okay. Yeah. He's it sounds like a kid that has, that's profoundly disabled, and they weren't sure at that time what happened, but at any rate, yes, he is okay, so scary though, so scary. But anyway, the storm was the wildest thing. At one point I looked, there were 8 people, including us and people I don't have never seen before, literally just holding on to our awning for dear life. I really didn't know if this was a tornado. Seriously, it was that bad for a little while. But whew, anyway, it all turned out. But I do have a video. This is the live that I took of that event, so I'm going to share it with you. Those of you that are in the radio, not in the live stream. I apologize. I tried to post the video in the chat room and maybe it's too long, but I wasn't allowed to do that. So you're going to hear it and not see it. I apologize for that. Hey guys, we are over here at the summer solstice market over by Burger Theory here in Idaho Falls. We're around back if you want to come see us. Please come see us. Here's some of the stuff that we have to offer. So Christy's offerings, she's got her gorgeous crystal lockets. And then she's got all these new fun fidgets. They're so cute. Like, look at this mushy. And they all have a liquid core, so they move inside. They're just adorable. Oh. The llamas. Save the drama for your mama, llama. Yeah. And all of our little snails. Oh my god, they're all so cute. And more. And then I really got going on glass. Got quite a few glass pendants put together. I think turned out really nice. I've got a few glass plant stakes that just came out of the kiln this week. And some copper bracelets and some slumped wine bottles that just make awesome little like cheese and cracker trays and stuff like that. I have some stakes. And then I have my greeting cards. I did these a while back. They're so cute. They have a little glass ornament inside of them. And then they have these cool foiled cards that I also designed and made. And they're just freaking awesome. I think it would be cool to have a little stack of them so that when you need a card or a little gift, you've just got them.
Oh, yes. Yeah, they were out here.
This is probably what I'm the most excited about. These are Pocket Hug. They're glass hearts that I designed. Well, that I made, I guess, and designed. And they're just really cool. Like, I think for, again, if you have somebody who has a need, who's, you know, going through a thing, they're cool. Anyway, there's a whole bunch of them, but I'm really excited about this project. And then, of course, Scott has been keeping the printers going nonstop. And he's got these cool new printers that print multicolor. So he's got all this cool stuff. Like, this one is the cherry blossom dragon. Isn't she beautiful? A lot of cute ones. This is the mushroom dragon, these two here. Anyway, and he also printed a bunch of eggs. Bigger ones and littler ones that some of the dragons will fit in, which is kind of a fun thing too. And of course I always have bags. All my cute tote bags. This is my favorite. It says, "Have the day you deserve," which is a good way of telling somebody to shove off without being quite that aggressive. And some of our other jewelry, regular stuff. Scott's beautiful rings. And we have some stones. And then of course lots of foil art. Lots and lots of foil art. And I have some cups. I have a whole bunch of spinners. I designed a whole new set of spinners that are all Art Deco style. And I'm so in love with them. So if you want a spinner, this would be a really good time to pick one up from me because I've got a bunch of them. They're really pretty. And I've got a few cups. I didn't really get cups put together for this fair very well, but I've got a few. And Scott's got a bunch of hoodies. You have to dig through them, but this little voodoo hoodie has gotten to be really popular. Or if you're Team Bear, I have a couple of Team Bear hoodies. Now I have something that fell on the floor, but I really wanted to show you, so I'm going to pick it up. So, sorry about the terrible camera work here. But I made a bunch of new garden flags. And this one is my favorite. This is Pretty Raven. She says welcome. And then there's another raven right here that says Merry Meat. And this one because really it's just it's a direct representation of us, you know. The drunkest bunch of assholes this side of the campground. And I've got more flags too. And then Scott has a handful of way bigger dragons as well. So yeah. So that's what's up. So yeah, if you're around in Idaho Falls today, and Mars is here too, so you can come and haze her. It's fine. It's probably fine. Scott's here. And Christy and Kara are here.
And we ordered Burger Theory,
So come and see us. Thanks, you guys. Take care. Have a good day. So there you have it. That's what was going on. Anyway, yeah, but we had a fun fair. It was good. It was nice to get out, got to meet some new friends, and it was good. So I did put a link up to my Etsy, but oh, Sid, and the thing that blew away mostly was my greeting cards, and some of them shattered. So that sucks. But it could have been worse. Nobody was hurt, and everything was okay, and I think everything I lost was returned to me. But yeah, pretty wild stuff. But anyway, so it was fun. It was good. Yeah. But I have so much today to talk to you guys about because we are continuing on with our Winged Things series. As you know, we have been carrying on this last, I don't know, I think we're on week 3 or week 4 of our Winged Things and talking about all of the different, not all of them, but I was thinking about how, and I know we've already said this, but there's a real theme with people who have crossed over, visiting family members in animal form. And if in case you're wondering, I'll share my theory. I don't know if I've shared this, but and this is just my theory, but my theory is that animals have much less of an ego, and it's easier to share space with them briefly. And in my opinion, I think that people are able to, or human spirits are able to inhabit the body of an animal for a brief time. Maybe they allow them, to share with them for a little bit so they can get close to you, to their loved ones. And this is it's something that we've all experienced. A lot of us, maybe not all, but a lot of us have experienced having animals get to way too close to us that shouldn't, or just behave strangely, or just come across in a way that isn't how they would normally behave. And a lot of times it's winged things. I've shared a lot of examples with you about having myself, friends, family, clients, having birds, dragonflies, butterflies, hummingbirds, all kinds of things behave very strangely in ways that made us think that this was more than just that animal. It was a spirit coming to say hello and be close to us. So, because it is summer now, and this is when we get to experience more of that, especially if you live, in the tundra where I live, we don't have a lot of winged things in the wintertime, not as much anyway. And so today I decided to do dragonflies. Dragonflies are absolutely one of my favorites. Years and years ago, I wanted to do this hike. There's a butte not too far from where we live. It's a twin butte. It's a former volcano, that was a volcano like a gazillion years ago. And it's an interesting hike. It's a beautiful hike here. And I wanted to get really proficient at being able to hike it because there was an upcoming meteor shower that I thought it would be really freaking cool if we could hike up there and do a night hike and be at the top of that butte where there's really no artificial light so that you could really see it. And so a whole pack of us had planned to go together. So Scott and I were essentially in training. Scott, not really in training, me 100% in training because it was really optimistic to think that I would be able to do that with the condition of my legs. But this was a few years ago. I was a little stronger then. But anyway, so we'd been doing some hikes and a lot of walking and trying to get me strong enough so I could do it. And by the way, I did do it and it was a really cool experience. But the first time we hiked the butte, there's a couple of different paths to take, and this was the easier path and not the path we were going to take on our big hike, but it was a start, right? So, and we did it in the evening. It wasn't dark yet, but it was the evening. And so we start hiking up, and it gets really hard for me really fast. Uh, Inclines and uneven ground are tough for me, and it got tough fast. And I was like, no, I am doing this. And I knew that if I couldn't do this, I would never prove to Scott that I would be up to the bigger hike that I really wanted to do. So I had to do it. I had to do it. And out of nowhere, two dragonflies showed up and were just in my face, like really in my face and right in front of me. And it was like they had invisible threads on me or strings or ropes just pulling me up the side of that mountain. And we kept going and we kept going. And they stayed with me clear till we got to the top. It was amazing. And I just really felt like they were there to help me get there, to help me encourage me, to help me to accomplish that goal. And I did get there. And it was pretty cool. And we stayed at the top for a while, just hung out. And there were coyotes howling. And we did see a rattlesnake on that hike as well, because there's rattlesnakes on that trail. But it was fine because I had my dragonflies. But the first tattoo I ever got was a dragonfly on my ankle. Dragonflies have just been a thing for me for a long time. And I know for a lot of you guys as well. So we're doing it dragonfly style today in Luminous. So I did put, no, I did not. Let me throw up a link for you guys. You may have already received Luminous this morning if you subscribe to it. But if you don't, I'm going to give you a link in case you want to follow along that way. But I do have it here on my screen as well in the live. All right, so let's take a look. All right, so I did call the magazine this week the Metamorphosis edition because we're looking at the spiritual significance of dragonflies this week. The metamorphosis of dragonflies is amazing. I can't wait to share it with you. So let's talk about my musings. We're going to discuss the spiritual significance of dragonflies. So, as we know, really for time immemorial, dragonflies have been mystifying people. Their iridescent wings, their nimble flight, their look, the fact that they have dragon in their name, I think is just, I don't know, exciting. But dragonflies have caught people's attention for, well, always. Their transformation is really amazing because they come from an aquatic nymph, an aquatic bug, and then they climb partway out of the water. They shed that skin. They uh oh Lord, I've lost the word, but I have it. Yeah, they molt from that into their dragonfly body, and then they fly away. And then at some point they lay their eggs back in the water. That's pretty amazing. So I actually have a video of their metamorphosis. So I'm going to share that right now. I'm going to put a link in the chat room for you if you're not in the live so you can watch it with us. But this I think is just amazing. All right, give me 1 second to get the video up. And all credit, by the way, goes to Beauty of Science. This is their video. Beauty of Science. Let me get it up on my screen. Is that not amazing? That was so cool. It had to be shared. So, again, of course, all credit to them, but wow, that is an amazing transformation. All right, we'll get Luminous pulled back up here. Okay. We always talk about metamorphosis and transformation and change. We always liken that to the butterfly. Of course, their transformation is quite different, but it's pretty amazing. And I apologize for the dogs. There is chaos going on outside of my house right now. They are still working on getting our fiber internet set up. So there's someone outside working on that. But also, I'm quite sure my neighbor across the street passed away last night. The ambulance was there and took someone out on a stretcher, and then her daughters got in their cars and left, and then later they came back, and there's been a lot of family over there since. And she was nearly 100 years old. And so I haven't spoken to them yet, but I believe that's what happened. But anyway, because of that, so lots and lots of love to the Johnson family. But due to that, there's just a lot of stuff going on outside my house today. It's making my dogs, well, bark. So I apologize. They're a little stirred up. Yeah, dang it. Yeah. Oh, why'd you bring him in here? He'll be okay. Just leave him. Okay. Well, Rico wanted to come in and apparently also wanted to be heard. Do you want to come up here and say hi? Yeah, no, he doesn't want to do that either. Okay. Well, I apologize. Anyway, Let's get back to dragonflies. Hopefully, Rico will be good. All right. Well, obviously, dragonflies share the connection to the element of water, being that they're born in water, and water is a symbol of deeper feelings and inner thoughts. So, in that sense, dragonflies do remind us to connect with our emotions and trust our gut feelings. Also, they suggest that real wisdom and clarity comes from within. I think that's a really good one. They bring light and joy. How often do you see a dragonfly that you're not full of wonder? Just full of wonder, you know? And I think for me, that's a big part of dragonflies. Every time I see one, I'm just mystified. I have to stop whatever I'm doing. I have to, try to get a picture. I have to sit with it. Like it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I absolutely have to be involved. Of course, they have luminescent or iridescent wings, and so they catch the light, and so there's the entire spectrum of the rainbow in their wings, and that reflective quality emanates wonder and joy. Well, light and joy, wonder and joy. Illusion and reality. Dragonflies can change direction quickly, symbolizing illusion and the shifting nature of reality. In Native American spirituality, dragonflies are messengers between the material and spiritual worlds, reminding us that things aren't always what they seem. In Japanese culture, dragonflies stand for courage, strength, and happiness. They're linked to autumn and seen as symbols of prosperity. In Native American spirituality, for many Native American tribes, dragonflies symbolize renewal after tough times and are believed to carry messages from the spirit world. In Celtic traditions, dragonflies are connected to fairies and magic, seen as creatures that can move between the worlds and bridge the gap between the seen and the unseen. In meditation and mindfulness, dragonflies are used in meditation and mindfulness practices. Their calm flight and delicate form help create a sense of peace and presence. Meditating on the image or qualities of a dragonfly can help you find a deeper sense of calm and stronger connection to the spiritual world. It's no wonder so many people are drawn to dragonflies, really. There's a lot of significance there, a lot of symbology there, and just a lot of magic there. Yeah. All right, moving on. In Refeminist History, Kelly brings us. She said in her last episode, she talked about the warrior queen whose name pronunciation baffles as many as it turns out, Boudica, which is good. I think that's how I said it. I don't know. But she uncovered a bunch of other queens that deserved a whole lot of attention, female warriors. And that's what her episode is about this week. So absolutely check it out. Very interesting information. I love that she's just doing all the girl stuff, you know? You got to be a girl's girl. You got to stand up for women. Women have to stand up for women. All right. In honor of lavender actually coming back this year, this is a small thing, but I have been really unable to grow lavender. We get really cold in the winter, and my lavender won't overwinter. And it has baffled me because I'm seeing, even in Idaho Falls, which is 30 miles from us, which is usually a little bit milder than us, but not a lot, they're growing lavender just fine. But I have planted lavender so many times and done all the right things in the fall, covered it, bagged it, done, whatever I could to help it. And it never comes back in the spring. And it drives me crazy because, well, lavender plants are expensive for one. For two, I would love to have my front garden full of lavender. And I've had a hard time with that. And Miraculously this year, my lavender came back. You wanna know what's wild? I didn't do a thing. I didn't even try to save it because why would I? It never works, and it came back. So I'm excited, and it's actually already blooming. So I was thinking about all of the different things I want to do with my lavender. So I put together a infographic about lavender for purification and protection. So a few ways to use that: burning dried lavender flowers as you would sage to cleanse your space of negative energy. The smoke is believed to purify and protect the area. You can also just wrap a few sprigs of lavender into your smudge bundles. I always do that. Uh, I've done that for years and years, and that works really well too. Lavender itself, you need a lot to burn very much, to get very much smoke. So I would burn it with sage, but you can also burn it all by itself, especially if you don't like sage or you're allergic to sage. That's another thought. Protection sachets. You can create small sachets filled with dried lavender flowers and place them around your home, in your car, or carry them with you to ward off negative energy and provide protection. It's a great one. And bath rituals. Add lavender flowers to your bath water to cleanse your aura and protect yourself from negativity. This can be particularly effective before performing any other magical work. So, there's a few more thoughts of things to do with your lavender. Hopefully, you guys are more successful growing lavender, but yay for me. Our winter was not quite as harsh. We had a little easier winter than we have the last few years, so maybe that's why my lavender lived, but whatever it is, we'll take it. Now if I could just get rosemary to come back, I would be all set, but that never happens. Okay, Christy's energy exercise this week is her Shakti manifesting meditation. And these are short, you guys. These are like a couple of minutes long, 2 or 3 minutes long. So they're no big deal. But her little energy exercises are amazing ways to do some quick work on yourself. And this is a good one for that. I mean, obviously, lots of crime over at True Crime Squad, but we're finally able to move on from Daybells, at least for a while. So that's good, at least. Anita brings us Archangel Haniel. She is an ascended master who focuses on life cycles. Anita says her name means grace of God, and she helps us with intuition and sensitivity and learning how to practice good self care. So she's got a great little write up about her and how to connect with her. Jamie Dawn has a really cool new video talking about working with the moons and the illusion of the moon. Good stuff. Always more meditations over at Planet Meditation. And that's that. So that is Luminous this week. So I hope that there is something in there that you benefited from. Yeah. Okay. I was going to read some comments here about dragonflies. Oh, Norella said her daughter Tina comes to her as a dragonfly. Oh, I love that. Jess said birds coming in the house when the door is open, butterflies and dragonflies landing on us and not even leaving when you move. Yeah. Incredible, right? I had an amazing experience with a ladybug on Sunday. I'll tell you about it here in a minute. Rico, you promised you wouldn't even do that. Come on. He's a bit grumpy. Okay. Sid said a dragonfly almost let me pet his tail a few days ago. I just learned that they are often accepting of human touch, unlike most insects. Wow. Yeah, it would be nice if more men would stand up for women too. Agree. Sid said, oh, that Oh, that lavender's sensitive to overwatering. She said she was drowning hers. But she's doing better. Okay, that's good to note. Oh yeah, Jane's landlord tore out 8-foot wide rosemary bushes. I can't even imagine having that. We just can't. It's frustrating. Jane said ladybugs and cardinals remind her of her mom. I hear this about cardinals a lot. We don't have cardinals here, and so I am not as experienced with those, but I love that that comes up for you guys. Renee sees dragonflies every year, and her lavender plants are growing well. I'm glad they are. I think you live in a place where they should thrive. Very cool. So on Sunday, after we got in the truck, after we just packed up and we'd been in this like horrific, wind and stuff, we start driving down the road and Mars goes, "Oh no, there's a ladybug on me." And I was like, "Well, don't." We were on the highway, going like 75 miles an hour. I'm like, "Don't put him out the window. It'll probably kill him." So she's not as big of a fan as bugs as me. So she handed her over to me and she climbed all over my fingers. I had a big beaded bracelet on, a mala, and she climbed around my wrist, around and around and around that mala for like 20 minutes. And then she climbed up my arm, and I'm kind of like trying to just scoot her back into my hand because I'm like, lady, you're going to have to wait till we get home. It was like a 30-minute drive. So I can, put you outside safely and not hurt you. And eventually she'd had enough of me and jumped off of my arm and flew to the floor of the pickup. So we just left the window cracked so she'd be able to get out. But I couldn't believe the way she climbed over my necklace over and over, or my bracelet. And she kept stopping and kind of doing this funny position with her feet. And I realized, oh, she's tasting it because the ladybugs can taste through their feet. And so I thought, oh, she's tasting it to try to figure out. It was green. And I thought maybe she is trying to figure out if this is a food source or if it's safe. But she kept doing this funny, I don't know, stuff with her feet that made me think that's what she was doing. But she was so special, just wandering around on my bracelet over and over and over. So I hope she made it out of the truck. I'm assuming she did because we did leave the window cracked for her. But I was hoping to hold on to her the whole time so I could just get home and just sit her on a tree and she'd be fine. But, you know, Jane said, I don't see cardinals in Northern California either, but lots of robins. Saw them mostly back east. And she loves ladybugs. I love ladybugs too. Um, we get a lot of robins as well. When I was in Tucson a few months ago, I was sitting in my car at the ball field and I saw a couple of like a male and a female cardinal in a bush, like right there on the edge of the desert. And I was so excited, like freaking out excited because we don't have those here. Yes, and hummingbirds too. Yeah. I tried to find, this is probably crazy, but I tried to find a webcam of dragonflies so we could watch it just like we've watched the other webcams here the last few weeks, and no such luck. There is no such thing. I didn't know. I figured that was probably a huge stretch because where do dragonflies populate? Well, a lot of times it's like marshy areas. So I thought, well, you don't know. Maybe somebody's got some cool angle on them, but if they do, I could not find it. But that's when I found that cool metamorphosis video. So I thought that was okay. Holy shit. Somebody has cloned my page. That is not me, you guys. Wow. Now that is next level. I don't even know if I should block that because I need to probably report that. Will you guys report that? Somebody that's in the Facebook chat, will you report that page? That is not me. They cloned me. Holy shit, that is new. So if you're not in the chat or the live stream, there's someone in the live stream posting under my name with my logo trolling people. That is something. Okay, I'm not going to block and ban them until somebody lets me know that they reported them, and then I will. But that is really something. So again, in the chat room, that is not me posting. That is someone who's cloned my page. Oh, feckers. Hey, Lillian. It's in the Facebook chat. It's in the Facebook Live, Jess. Good Lord. Why are people like this? Okay. And if not, if nobody does, don't worry about it. I can do it when the show's over. But I just don't want to block them because then I can't actually report them. So gonna need to keep that up there. So, but don't respond to that. That is not me. Okay. Well, I figured we'd have a few minutes for readings today, and we do. So if there's anything I can do for any of you, just drop a comment or a question or a request, and I'll definitely take a peek at that. I'm really liking the summer energy so far. We haven't had a crazy amount of heat. No, it's in the yeah, it's in the Facebook live stream chat. Oh, Lillian, I'm sorry. Actually, I think you will still be going on your cruise. That feels to me like that's gonna work out okay. Yeah, but I'm sorry. Norella would love a reading. What are you working on, Norella? Anything specific? I thought the daily dish was interesting this morning. It came through as kind of a warning about uh, power struggles and letting people make you feel small and having power struggles with people that end up making you feel like you're a child. I thought that was an interesting thing because with the daily dish, I usually pull a few cards and then I just channel. And so what came through today was so this was the message. I'll just read it to you, but I just thought it was interesting. I think we've all experienced this from one time or another. So here's the message. You might find yourself in a power struggle today with an authority figure, whether perceived or actual. Situations like this can make you feel like you're 12 years old again. But remember, you're not a child, and no one has the right to disrespect you, just as they shouldn't have when you were 12. Straighten your back, take a deep breath, and speak with confidence. It's perfectly okay to say, do not speak to me that way. I don't tolerate disrespect. Remember, you are always teaching people how they are allowed to treat you. That was a pretty strong message. So I was curious to see, I'll be curious to see who responds. People respond to those all the time and say, yep, this is what happened to me. Oh, it was for Lillian, as it turns out. Hey, Zabe. Kev. Good to see you. Oh, Trish said I had a chat with Dad last week and I'm looking for a name for my new home. Oh, interesting. Okay, Norella says on health. Okay, let's take a look. No, I don't want to pull cards. I just want to read this. Let's take a look. The words that come up for me first, Norella, are deficiencies and depletions. It really comes up for me that this is in minerals in your body that might be affecting the way your body is functioning or malfunctioning. If you haven't had some good labs in a while, do that. Really specifically looking at, and a naturopath would be perfect for this, but or a naturopathic doctor that does labs that could take a look at things like uh, electrolytes, calcium, magnesium. That's what I am hearing, deficiency and depletion. Uh, and it really makes me wonder if you actually have an absorption issue that you're not absorbing vitamins and minerals the way you need to, so that your body's not really receiving what you need to heal itself, to keep your bones strong, things like that. But that's what comes up for me. So obviously, that's something for you to talk to your doctor about, but that's what comes up for me. Okay. Okay, Jess would love a general check in. Let's just pull you a card quick here. Poor Jessica. Her name is Jessica, and I don't even know. I just call her Jess every time I see her in chat. So I hope that's okay. I just do what I want, apparently. You guys are lucky I haven't assigned you all a nickname because I don't call anybody in my world by their real name. My poor kids and dogs have so many nicknames that they don't even know who they are. And for Mars, especially, it's very rude because we've called her Bean forever. But I also call Bruno Bean. And so why I this is who I am. And so sometimes if I yell for Bean, she's like, "Who are you talking to?" It could be either, to be honest. Okay, Jessica. Oof. Okay. All right. So these cards, I think, really deal with you maybe feeling a little uncomfortable in your skin, feeling like you need to do something or learn something. It's that feeling of, I can't put my finger on what I'm missing out on, but I'm missing out on something. You know what I mean? I'm sure you've all felt that way at some point, or feeling like you're homesick for a place you don't think you've ever been. You can't put your finger on it. It's kind of that kind of energy for you. And I feel like the thing that jumps out at me is for you to dive into your ancestry, to look at places in the world that have always just kind of drawn you in, especially as a kid. Almost all of us can identify places that when we were children, we felt really drawn to, for maybe for no reason, or places that you were very repelled by. When I was a kid, I was terrified of China. And it wasn't because of things I had learned or heard, but I was terrified of China. And that led me to some past life work with myself that helped me to see where I had some reasons to be terrified of China. I also, from the time I was like 12, was so drawn to France. I wanted to learn to speak French long before you could actually take, like, because where I went to school, you couldn't take foreign languages until you were in high school. But when I was in like middle school, junior high, my mom had bought me books and like flashcards and stuff to study French because I wanted to learn how to speak French so badly for whatever reason. And then apparently that burned off because by the time I got to high school, I took Spanish, 3 years of Spanish. And guess who can't speak Spanish? What the hell was I doing for 3 years? What was I doing? It's hard to say. I probably know. But anyway, point being, evaluate where you were drawn to when you were a child for this very reason, because it's likely that those places have spiritual significance for you for some reason. And then do some research, do some reading, get online, do some virtual tours, plan a trip if you can. But I feel like for you, you really need something to study and to learn and to feel that helps you to feel more like you. I hope that made any sense at all, but that's what I'm feeling for you. Tara could use an energy boost. She said, have so much to do, but I just want to sit and chill and craft. Well, I mean, if you can craft or do the dishes, I mean, really. Okay, let's give you a big boost here. So to be fair, your R is actually fairly heavy. I feel like these are some of the challenges, cares, and worries in your family that end up laying pretty heavy on you. So I'm just going to clear all of that out. Yeah, that's better. All right, so let's just get a bunch of light around you. And I'm going to put a Herkimer diamond in your crown too, Tara, to just help give you yet another energetic boost to help you get up and get going. And never underestimate the power of bribing yourself. That's how I get shit done. Sherry could use a general read, and so could Kev. Let's pull cards for both of you guys. Oh, interesting. Norella just had blood work and sodium is low. Well, that's an electrolyte. Uh, I am to have a salt rimmed margarita nightly. The doctor said so, so it's fine. That's so funny. That actually happened to me just a few months ago. Low sodium as well. And that's what the nurse on the phone said. Well, I mean, you actually do need to get more sodium. And I was like, margaritas, here I come. So we're in the same boat, but you just don't feel good. I know. I'm getting that. Try an electrolytes supplement every day. You can buy them that are just in little packets that you put in your drink. I don't think they taste fantastic, but they're not inedible either. But I wonder if that would give you the boost that you're looking for. It's crazy what electrolytes do in your body and how crappy you feel if you're low in them and out of sorts with them. And because sodium is an electrolyte, that really confirms that for me. So I would try that, Norella. You can also just drink a Gatorade or a Powerade, but the electrolyte packets have a lot more specific electrolytes. Like those are a lot of sodium, which you do need. But to get everything, the packets are better. I just bought some new ones at Walmart and they're terrifying. They're so gross, but they do the job. So, okay. Sherry Mo. The card I pulled is power, which is funny because I talked about power struggles potentially being a thing. I think this is a lot you just really stepping up into your power. This is to me about you directing traffic in your life. You know, it could be about boundaries. I feel like for you, especially, it could just be about just saying, no, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. It could be as small as where you're going to go out to eat or what you're watching on TV, but maybe giving into what other people want less and giving into what you want a little bit more. You might surprise people a little bit, but grabbing back a little power. All right, Kev. Oh, Sid, I need to share you guys a picture. I need to take one. Mars dressed her up. She has on a grass skirt now and a bunch of lays around her neck and some flower bracelets around her wrists. Jane, yes. Yes, he absolutely is. Okay, Kev. Ooh, okay. I pulled two cards. The first one is the Prosperity Begins card. So this is good. This is good stuff happening. This is partnering. I feel like this could be about your current job, but I also feel like it could be partnering with other people to help improve your financial situation or prosperity situation. So either way, I also feel like it could be like a side hustle if somebody wants you to join up with them or do something on the side besides your regular job, but that looks good. We'll take it. And the other card is the universe, which just indicates that the possibilities are vast and endless. So I like it. We'll take it. Oh, good. Jessica said Jess is fine since I just do things like that. Tara said she had a fear of Aboriginals when she was a kid, and now she loves everything to do with Aboriginal people. Interesting. That's really cool. So she's done some work on that to understand it and get there. Very cool. Yeah. Oh, Norella's doing the packets twice a day. Okay, good. Well, that's a part of it. But again, I'm on absorption with you too. I wonder about vitamin K to help absorb better. Talk to your doctor about it. Dr. Berg's electrolytes aren't bad. Good. I will learn because the ones I have are ugh. Jess said, "Oh, hers is Ireland. Interesting. Interesting. Ireland in a good way or in a bad way? Ireland, I've been really drawn to Ireland too in a good way, but I think it's curious when we have ones that we actually have a real disdain for no reason at all." Laurie said she had a French speaking grandmother and took 3 years of French in high school and can barely speak a word because no one has spoken French to her in years. Yeah, yep, I get that. Oh, Marina also took French in school and can't say a phrase. Yep, I get it. Shireen, do you see resolution in the situation around the trust with my mother and siblings? In my favor. I haven't spoken to them since September. I do, but it's still a ways out. I think there will be a resolution that works out for you, but gosh, it feels like it's still not happening anytime soon. Okay, Marina could use a card. Denise said, "My mom would go through several names before getting to your name or a blended name or one of her sisters and mine after they'd spoken on the phone." I love it. That sounds a lot like me. And Shireen, back to you real quick. I'm so sorry that that's going on in your family. I know there's a lot of frustration and sadness around that. Okay, before we are done and gone here, one more for Marina. Card for the week. The card is Destiny. I really like the cards we pulled today. Gives me hope. The card is Destiny. Marina, I think the message for you is to follow your feet, to really trust your intuition. I don't think this has to do with work. I think this has to do socially or with maybe ways to volunteer or spend your time in potentially helping others a little bit and just kind of connecting with a new group of people. But Destiny. Okay. Oh, a good way for Ireland, like I belong there, or I used to. I love that, Jessica. Okay, I did want to pull a card for Jane real quick. Trish wondered if I have any thoughts on a name for her home. Whew. Not off the top of my head, but I'll think about it, Trish. Yeah, kind of part of it making it yours, right? I like it. The card, Jane, is wisdom. I think this is important for you because you have so much life experience, and I think that you are so much wiser than you give yourself credit for. And so I think the wisdom in this aspect is you. I feel like this has to do with what are your next steps. I know you have kind of felt like your feet were frozen to the floor for a while, but wisdom. So I think trusting yourself and what you think is right and not second guessing yourself in this aspect. I know that's hard. Oh, good. Marina has been going to language meetups in person. Perfect. Yes. Okay. Well, we've done what we do. We've definitely talked down to the end of the show. I want to let you know that I am a professional psychic advisor over at 12listen.com. You can find me there every day. That's number one, number two, listen.com. And of course, I'll be back here next week, same place, same time. So thank you so much for being here, you guys. This has been yet another edition of the Katie Weaver Show here on 12 Radio, where we're changing the way you listen to the world.